Here we have this week's TechA video newsletter on the 18th February, which is Monday, provided by insightsupport.com. TechA is where we look at the key indices over the coming week. By using technical analysis, we gauge where the indices such as the CAC, DAX, Dow, FTSE, Nasdaq and Nikkei are heading for the following week. Starting off with the CAC, one of the things we noted last week was there was a broad range consolidation between 4,600 and 5,000. We also noted that there was a possibility of a support at 4,700 or thereabouts. It did find that support and does seem to be trading within that consolidation between 4,700 and 5,000. Looking at the strength within that consolidation, there's a very strong possibility of it being likely to continue through the majority of this week. So certainly with the CAC, I don't feel that it's likely to do any fundamental retracement. If it does, it's only likely to go beyond 4,600. I'll be very surprised if it manages to break beyond 4,600. I imagine the majority of this week will likely just see a consolidation between 4,700 and 5,000 with the CAC. Moving now on to the DAX. Here we have the DAX, which has been trading between a very similar range of 6,800 to 6,700. It looks set to continue that. There has been slight breaches in the support at 6,800, and there's a possibility at some later stage of it retracing down to 6,400. For now, though, much like the CAC, we're likely to see a consolidation between 6,800 and 7,000, certainly through the majority of this week. But keep an eye out on breaches within this support at 6,800. If we get any confirmed breaches, certainly below 6,800 or closes below that, there's a very strong possibility of a retracement but to 6,400. But for now, we're likely to see a consolidation within the range of 6,800 to 7,000. Moving now on to the Dow. Similar story with many of these indices. As we can see, there's lots of consolidation around. We have a resistance with the Dow at 12,500 and a support at 12,000, likely to continue through the majority of this week, certainly. There could be a bit of headroom up to perhaps what would that be, 12,750, 12,800, but certainly within this range of 1,200 to 12,500 with the Dow. Again, too, for the FTSE, slightly tighter consolidation between 5,800 and 5,900. Could be a bit more flexible and move up to around about 6,000, but much like the Dow, the CAC and the DAX, we're likely to see relatively tight consolidation throughout the majority of this week. Moving now on to the Nasdaq. Once again, similar story, but always look for the Dow for the lead on the Nasdaq. As we can see, there's a consolidation between 1,800 and 1,700. It does seem to be slowing down a little bit. We've got a doji candle here which shows a massive slowdown. So there could be a possibility of even finding a brief period of support at this level. But considering how much the Dow is consolidating, there's a very strong chance that the Nasdaq will follow suit throughout the majority of this week. Finally, here we have the NIC. We've got the Nikkei trading within a very similar consolidation, much like the others that we're looking at. We've got a doji candle, so there could be a very strong possibility of a retracement down from around about just shy of 13,900 down to 13,000. So there could be a good possibility of a retracement there within the Nikkei for this following week. So as we can see, for the majority of these indices this week, we're looking at broad range consolidation within relatively tight parameters. look towards the Dow for any serious break. If the Dow moves above 12,500 or below 12,000, look for the other indices to follow suit in a very similar fashion. Certainly it will start with the Dow, then the usually the FTSE, Nasdaq, and then the European indices such as the CAC and DAX, and then finally the NIC. So always look towards the Dow for a hint as to where the trend is likely to go. Certainly if we get these strong breaches above 12,500 and 12,000, certainly if we get an even lower breach, that's that support here, then look to the other indices to follow suit accordingly. So that's this week's TechA video newsletter on Monday the 18th of February 2008, and we'll be back next week with another update. Thanks for watching.